welcome to Live Interactive English. Hello everyone, I'm Mike.
And I am Karen. Today we are looking at part 1 of Carlos Alcaraz, one to watch. Okay, well, we're saying that he's the one to watch, so I'm guessing that he is very, very famous.
Yes, that's right. I'm getting the idea. You have no idea who Carlos Alcaraz is.
I do not. Okay, please enlighten me.
Well, with a name like Carlos Alcaraz, what do you think? Is he famous in the world of show business or famous in the world of sports?
I'm gonna guess sports.
You are guessing very well so far. Yes, that's absolutely right. He is a very famous tennis player.
Ooh, so I guess you are a fan of tennis and that's why you know him.
I do like to watch tennis, and it's actually really interesting that his name is getting more well known because for the last 10 or 20 years we've had people like Roger Federer and of course Nadal and of course Djokovic. These have been the top men tennis players in the world, the top males. But Carlos Alcaraz is probably that new generation, one of these young players who's coming along to maybe take over being the big stars, being the #1 player in the world. And that's why our title is really true when it says he is one to watch. He's getting attention now, and he will probably get more famous into the future.
So is he very, very young? You said he's quite new, right, to this whole game thing, right?
Exactly right. He's very young, very talented. He's already won some big tournaments on his own, and even some of the older players are kind of pointing to him as the new king of tennis, the new one who will rise to the top. But of course, he still has a lot of playing to go. He's still a young player and very, very talented.
All right, well, how about let's check out our lesson today.
Sounds good.
Since he first burst onto the scene a few years ago, Carlos Alcaraz has taken the world by storm. The tennis star's quick rise has made him one of the most exciting names in sport. Alcaraz was born in Murcia, Spain in 2003. His father, a former professional tennis player, encouraged him to start playing at age 4. It soon became clear that the child had a gift. After shining in junior contests, he turned professional at 15. In 2022, at 19 years old, Alcaraz became the youngest man to ever become world #1 after winning the US Open. The next year, he beat Novak Djokovic to gain his first Wimbledon title.
So today we are looking at part 1 of Carlos Alcaraz, one to watch. And from what you told everyone before, he is definitely the one to watch because he's not only young, but also very, very talented, right?
That is very true. And you don't have to be a huge tennis fan to know this guy's name, especially in the last 2 or 3 years. We've been reading his name and seeing him on the sports and playing tennis a lot. So as we begin, it says, since he first burst onto the scene a few years ago, Carlos Alcaraz has taken the world by storm. Of course, he's been playing tennis for many years, but as a young player, he wasn't as famous as he now is. And he really got famous a few years ago. That's why we say he burst onto the scene. We use this expression to talk about when someone becomes famous, when they start to become popular, when many people kind of start to hear this young person's name. And since then, he has taken the world by storm. He's gotten a lot of attention, a lot of success, and gotten many new fans because of how he plays tennis. The tennis star's quick rise has made him one of the most exciting names in sport. Notice they say exciting names in sport, not just in tennis, but in all the world of sports. He is a very exciting player. He's also well known for loving to play tennis and wanting to play exciting games. And I think that's why he has a lot of fans. He's never boring when he's on the tennis court.
So he kind of plays, he has a different style from other tennis players.
Oh, sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I get angry with him.
Why?
Because he's trying to hit an exciting shot and not a safe shot. And you think, oh, just do something safe and normal. But he's always trying to be really exciting and really fun to watch.
So kind of like putting on a show and not just playing a game.
Exactly.
Okay, now we're also looking at this word here, burst. And like you mentioned before, to burst is like to explode outward with noise. But when we say to burst onto the scene, it's to suddenly become very well known or to get the attention from other people. So for example, you can say, Ken burst into the room and told us his good news.
Oh, okay, so with a lot of energy, he came running into the room and he gave us his big news. Well, let's talk about some of Alcaraz's story. For example, where is he from and exactly how old is he?
All right, and let me tell you.
All right.
Alcaraz was born in Murcia, Spain. In 2003, his father, a former professional tennis player, encouraged him to start playing at age 4. Oh, so that's why he got started. It's because of his father, right? Usually, I think you have a father or mother as a professional athlete, you would have that kind of influence on you, right?
Absolutely, yes. Of course, he had a teacher, a trainer, a coach right at home, his father being an expert in tennis, and it's clear his father really wanted him to play, getting him started at the age of 4.
That's
That
true.
is very young.
Because I have played tennis before, and I have to say that it's not easy.
No, I think I started around the age of 10 or 11.
Really?
Not 4.
Exactly. Okay, so the article continues. It soon became clear that the child had a gift. When you say that someone has a gift, that just means that they have the talent. They're very good at it. They're born to do this, right?
Absolutely. So not only was he born with talent, but having a father being a tennis player as well, that would definitely encourage him. His father and family probably encouraged him as well. When someone encourages you, they kind of act as your coach, your supporter. They want you to win. So they're saying things, they're telling you things that make you feel good and confident, that make you believe in yourself. So when your friends are clapping for you and saying, go for it, and you can do it, and we believe in you, they're encouraging you. They're kind of building up through their actions and their words. They're giving you positive, helpful emotions so that you can go out there and do even better at what you're trying to do. For example, my friend encouraged me to start writing my own short stories. They would read them and go, these are really good. You should write more. You're getting better. And that is very good encouragement. That would be the noun form of the verb. All right, back to the article. It says, after shining in junior contests, he turned professional at 15.
Wow, that's a really young age, right?
That is
15 years
amazing.
old.
So he was already winning tennis tournaments as a child when he was 11, 12, 13, and then he turned professional. It kind of became his job. He became a professional tennis player at the age of 15. In 2022, at 19 years old, Alcaraz became the youngest man to ever become world number 1 after winning the US Open. So there you go. At 19 years old, he'd won the US Open, one of the 4 big tennis tournaments every year. And he also, by winning it, he also became basically the best tennis player in the world at that time, the world number 1. And he wasn't done. The next year, he beat Novak Djokovic, who was often the world number 1. He beat Novak Djokovic to gain his first Wimbledon title, another one of the big tennis tournaments. So he's already won at least 2 of them.
That is really, really great accomplishments at such a young age, right?
Yes.
So he gained the title. So to gain, that is a verb. If you gain something, you obtain it, especially after a lot of hard work or effort. And I think for him, it's not just luck. And it's not just like, oh, he has the talent, he has the gift. Of course, he's going to win. I'm sure that he put in a lot of effort into practicing too.
Oh, yeah, and
well.
Novak Djokovic beat him a lot of times before that, before he managed to beat Djokovic.
Okay, an example sentence for to gain would be the army soon gained control of the city.
And we also had this word title. We talked about how Alcaraz had won the US Open title, and then he also won the Wimbledon title. Now, when we talk about a title, often you would think of the name of a book or a story or a movie, right? The Avengers is the title of a popular superhero film, for example. But we can also use it when talking about sports to talk about being the winner, being the champion, getting first place, or getting that gold medal. If your team won the title in your high school basketball league, that means you won the championship. The name champion, kind of like a title, is a name that you can put in front of your team's name because you won the title, the championship, that year you were the best team or the best player. For example, the team has won 6 titles in the past 9 years, so they've been the champions 6 times in 9 years. Very well done. All right, let's take a break, and then we'll be back with more about Carlos Alcaraz.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这一次要介绍的人物是一位迅速崛起的网球明星 Carlos Alcaraz， 卡洛斯·艾卡拉兹。那课文提到说，从他几年前突然崭露头角以来，已经风靡了全世界。那我们来看看他的成长背景。艾卡拉兹2003年出生于西班牙。那他的父亲以前是一位职业网球选手。父亲在他4岁的时候鼓励他开始打球，很快的大家就看出这个孩子很有天分。在青少年组竞赛当中，他大放异彩。那之后呢，他在15岁成为职业选手，19岁就赢得了美网公开赛，成为史上最年轻的世界第一。隔年，他击败了乔科维奇，获得第一个温布顿的冠军。好，我们来看单字 burst。burst 它可以表达突然闯入、突然出现。那么 burst 它的动词三态同形，文中用到 burst onto the scene 来表达崭露头角、突然窜红的意思。下一个单字 encourage， 它是动词，表示鼓励、敦促。gain 它当动词则表示获得、赢得。那么 title 它可以表达体育比赛的冠军，也可以指头衔、称谓或者是标题。那这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。这边我们来介绍 take something or somebody by storm， 表示风靡什么什么，在什么大获成功。这个片语的受词可以是地点或是人，用来指在某地或是某个群体中大受欢迎、大获成功。例如 ，The singer has taken the music scene by storm with her unique style。那位歌手以其独特风格席卷乐坛。好，接回课文中。
In 2024, Alcaraz won Wimbledon again, as well as the French Open for the first time. The victory in Paris made him the youngest man to clinch major titles on all 3 surfaces: clay, grass, and hard court. It also helped him become the world's best-paid tennis player. Now, his sights are set on the 2025 Australian Open. If he wins that, he will become the youngest male to win all 4 major titles.
All right, so we're learning that Alcaraz has already won at least 2 tennis titles, the US Open and Wimbledon. But I got the feeling that he's not quite done yet. There might be another title in there too.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's continue. In 2024, Alcaraz won Wimbledon again, as well as the French Open for the first time. Wow, he just does not stop.
No, he wants to win them all. So I think he only has the Australian Open to go. To have won all 4 big tennis titles. That's right. I forgot about the French Open just this spring.
And I think he's very, very ambitious, right? He wants to win a lot of titles. The victory in Paris made him the youngest man to clinch major titles on all 3 surfaces: clay, grass, and hard court.
That's exactly right. The French Open is played on clay. Wimbledon, of course, has the beautiful green grass near London and hard court like the US Open and Australian Open, the only one of the big ones or the major tournaments that he hasn't won yet. But I'm sure he will, and it's coming up very soon.
That's true. So when we use this word major, and that's an adjective, basically it just means like more important or sometimes bigger or more serious than others of the same type. So for example, you could say, last week there was a major earthquake in Japan. Maybe it was like a really, really serious one.
Ooh, that's not good. Of course, the opposite would be minor. If it's a small thing, it's a minor thing. A minor earthquake is no problem. A major earthquake could be a major problem as well. So you definitely want minor problems and not major problems. Back to our article. It also helped him become the world's best paid tennis player.
I would guess so.
Wow, that's pretty good. So he's winning all the tournaments, he's the #1 player in the world, and he's also the richest, or he's getting the most money as a tennis player these days. I guess he deserves it. Now, his sights are set on the 2025 Australian Open.
That's what you were talking
That's
about.
the one that he hasn't won yet. If he wins that, he will become the youngest male to win all 4 major titles. Of course, many other players have done that, but not at such a young age. And then, of course, he would have the big challenge of the Grand Slam. That's to win the Australian, French, Wimbledon, and US Open all in 1 year. I don't know if anyone's done that.
A really big challenge. But do you think he's going to win the Australian Open, though?
I'm sure he will at some time, but will it be this year? I think he has a very good chance.
I would think so. I mean, he's so talented and he's tried so hard. And then he's also quite lucky, too, would you say?
I would say so, coming from a tennis family and having his family to encourage him, and it's done a lot for him. He's become a big success. And that's not all. We're going to have some more about Carlos Alcaraz tomorrow.
All right.
I think so. Maybe it's time to come back for that. Until then, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
See you next time.
在2024年，艾卡拉兹再度赢得温布顿冠军，并且首次赢得了法网冠军。这一场在巴黎的胜利，使他成为在所有3种场地，包含红土、草地还有硬土上面获得大满贯冠军最年轻的男子。这也帮助他成为世界上收入最高的网球选手。那么现在呢，他把目标设定在2025年的澳洲网球公开赛。如果获胜啊，他将会成为赢得所有4大赛冠军最年轻的男子选手。文中用到复合形容词 best paid， 就是形容收入最高的。那么单字 major 它可以形容主要的、重大的。那文中用到动词 clinch 可以表达取得，像是取得胜利或是最终赢得的意思。这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，这边要介绍的是 set one's sights on 加上名词或动名词，表示以什么为目标，下定决心要怎么样怎么样。这个片语表示下定决心要做某事。那么动词 set 三态同形 ，sight 在这边则是表达目标、期望。当这个意思解释时，固定用复数形。例如 ，Veronica has set her sights on becoming a lawyer。Veronica 下定决心要成为律师。好，那么以上这些讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Since he first burst onto the scene a few years ago, Carlos Alcaraz has taken the world by storm. The tennis star's quick rise has made him one of the most exciting names in sport. Alcaraz was born in Murcia, Spain in 2003. His father, a former professional tennis player, encouraged him to start playing at age 4. It soon became clear that the child had a gift. After shining in junior contests, he turned professional at 15. In 2022, at 19 years old, Alcaraz became the youngest man to ever become world #1 after winning the US Open. The next year, he beat Novak Djokovic to gain his first Wimbledon title. In 2024, Alcaraz won Wimbledon again, as well as the French Open for the first time. The victory in Paris made him the youngest man to clinch major titles on all 3 surfaces: clay, grass, and hard court. It also helped him become the world's best-paid tennis player. Now, his sights are set on the 2025 Australian Open. If he wins that, he will become the youngest male to win all 4 major titles.
I don't even know where to start.
Hey, Shane, you look all at sea. What's going on?
All at sea? There's no water around here, but there's definitely a sea of paperwork.
No, Shane. It just means that you look confused and lost.
Oh, well, I've got to organize an event, but I can't find the venue details. The guest list is an absolute mess, and I don't even know if the caterer is confirmed.
Here, I got you some coffee. Take a break. Let's sort this out together. You'll be on dry land in no time.
Hello, everyone. Today we're diving into the phrase all at sea.
Despite what it sounds like, all at sea has nothing to do with oceans or ships.
That's right. It's an idiom that means to be in a state of confusion or bewilderment.
It's often used when someone feels overwhelmed, just like Shane in our skit when he faced a mountain of tasks.
Here's an example sentence. When it comes to programming, I'm all at sea.
Or he was all at sea during the dance class and couldn't keep up with any of the moves.
If you're ever feeling all at sea, you can try asking for help or taking a break to collect your thoughts.
Definitely, learning English can sometimes make you feel all at sea, but that's why we're here to help.
That's right, and that's all the time we have for today. We hope you're feeling a little less at sea about this idiom.
And see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.